So guys, in today's video, I wanted to talk to you and break down this absolutely beautiful 1 to 2.5 risk to reward trade that we took on NAS 100 yesterday. Now, as you can see, I sent the sell limit into the Discord for myself and all of the members to be able to take. We managed it beautifully. We took 50% off at TP1, moved to break even, and closed the full position for a beautiful 2.5% gain on the account. Now, as you can see, there's the screenshot of inside my MetaTrader as I was telling everyone exactly what I'm doing and walking everyone through all of the processes that go on inside of my own personal trading. Now, if you're not part of the VIP group, I would highly suggest going down in the description and clicking on the link to become part of the community so that you can come and enjoy all of these profits that we're making every single day, day in and day out. Whilst you're down there, if you could also hit the like, comment, and also subscribe, I would be ever so grateful. But let's keep it moving nice and swiftly. Let's get into the breakdown of this beautiful trade that we took on NAS 100. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all of these drawings off of the chart so that we have a nice and clean canvas so that we can then walk through this trade together. Now, the first thing that we all have to do when we come onto our charts in the morning is not understand market structure, is not get a coffee. All we have to do is come over here and start the Asian session range indicator. Now, the reason why we use this indicator is because it just makes our lives 10 times easier because it automatically marks out the Asia session. Now, the Asia session is the most crucial part of this trading strategy, and it is something that is going to be crucial when it comes to taking profits and executing the trade. So as soon as we turn on this Asian session range indicator, we are then simply going to figure all of the settings to the time zone that we're in. Now, as you can see, I'm currently in the UK, therefore I have to set these times depending on Eastern time. So I just configure my time to Eastern time and I set it to turn on from midnight UK time. As you can see right here, it starts at midnight and then I get it to end at 7 o'clock in the morning. So by the time I wake up, I don't have to go and manually mark out the Asia session. This indicator does everything for me. So because it's such a godsend, I'm telling you guys to go and input this onto your charts and make sure that you utilize it so that it makes your trading easier too. Now, the reason why we use the Asian session range is because that is going to be the reference point for our liquidity. So we have to highlight the highest point within the Asian session range and the lowest point within the Asian session range. Now, once we do that, this is now going to be the reference point for our liquidity, because the entire theory behind this trading strategy is that we are simply waiting for a sweep of either side of the liquidity. We're then waiting for a market structure shift, and then we're taking the trade in the opposite direction to the other liquidity. So just to give you an example, if we get a sweep of the Asia high, we then wait for a market structure shift, we then execute our entry, and then we take profits at the Asia lows, which is the opposing side. Now, on the flip side, if we get a sweep of the lows, we then simply wait for a market structure shift, we then execute a buy position, and then we take it all the way until the other side, which is the Asia high. It is as simple and easy as that. And we do this every single day, day in and day out. And as we can see, every single day we are smashing these take profits every single day. On SPY, on NAS, on US30, we are simply just banking all of these profits. So let's jump straight into it and highlight exactly how we go about trading this strategy. So once we've identified our Asia session high and our Asia session low, we then play price on and we wait for a sweep of either side. Now, as we can see right here, we get a nice sweep of the Asia highs right there. So as soon as we get a sweep of the Asia high like this, we then identify our structural points. Now, as we can see in terms of structure, we are getting a series of higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and we've just put in a higher high, which has swept the Asia high. Therefore, in order for us to get a market structure shift, price has to break below this low right here. And do we get that? Right there, we see this nice sweep of this previous higher low. Therefore, this signifies that price has gone from creating higher highs and higher lows to now putting in a lower low. Therefore, the trend has now changed, which means we should see a lower high and a continuation lower. So based on this, if we then get our lines out and we identify that this right here was now our market structure shift, we've now gone halfway through the analysis of this trading setup and we are ever so close to executing. Our next step is to actually identify where we're going to take our entry from. And to do this, we simply identify the closest fair value gap or order block that caused the market structure shift. Now, in this case, as we can see right here, this little order block is sat right in the middle of this entire range, and it actually caused this market structure shift because this was the pause in the market that caused the markets to push lower than this previous higher low. Therefore, we simply get our short position tool, put our entry at the open of the order block, and then we always target as our first target the opposing liquidity. And in this case, the opposing liquidity would be the Asia lows. Now, for this specific trade, our stop loss was not all the way above the most local high. It was just above this fair value gap because that was the most extreme fair value gap that could have potentially been tapped into. Now, knowing NAS over the back test that I've done, I know that NAS does not like to push to the extremes. Therefore, I was fairly confident that we wouldn't get this high. And if we did, that would mean the trade was going to get invalidated anyway. Therefore, understanding this, I was safely going to put my stops here. And this is when I sent the limit into the Discord where I told everyone that I'm putting this NAS sell limit into place. Here's the stop loss, first take profit, and the second take profit. Now, in order to identify where price can potentially go to, we have to identify our take profit areas. So if we take a look at what structure is doing right here, we can see that we have this huge impulsive move to the upside. Now, just before we get this massive impulsive leg up, we can see that price stagnated in this area for quite a while. Now, it stopped in this area and it consolidated all of these orders, and then we had this massive push out. Therefore, this is an area where banks and institutions were opening their positions and executing their orders before then manipulating price to the upside. Therefore, with this in mind, we can then safely identify this as an order block that price can potentially come to. And then we simply put our second take profit right there. Now, once we do that, we simply understand that this is a probability game. We're either going to get a stop loss or a take profit. Now, understanding that this strategy has a near enough 70% win rate, we can safely say that we are going to win more times than we are going to lose. However, the losses will occur, but we can't let that deter us. We simply just have to take it as a numbers game. Now, we've done all of the hard work. We've analyzed the charts. We've identified our take profit areas. We've identified our stops. And now everything has been done. After this, we simply just put the limit orders in and we wait to see what happens. Now, if you are somebody who does have a job, if you have family commitments, even if you're somebody who doesn't have time to stare at the charts all day, then you can simply just join the VIP group where I will then send you all of these trades every single day so that you can then execute these trades with us. So that way, even if you are busy, you can still make these crazy profits. But having said that, let's see what happens with this trade. Price then comes back and tags us straight into this trade with this beautiful candle. And then from there, it then immediately just runs to take profit one, and this is where we then take 50% off the table. So once we hit TP1, we took 50% off the table, and then after that we simply just let price run. And as you can see, price then straight away just plummets straight to our second take profit, beautifully tapping. Amazing trade. And then after that, it did run a little bit more. It ran for a beautiful 1 to 6.5 risk to reward. We didn't hold it all the way because we fully closed the position at a 2.5% gain on the account, and we were done for the day. That is it. If we're able to execute these trades every single day and bank a minimum of 2%, then we can make some insane profits as the weeks go on. And that is exactly what we do in the Discord. Now, having said all of that though, we understood that price could definitely come to this order block, which it did. However, it blasted through. Therefore, if you were looking at the higher time frames, then you could see that another order block that we have sits right here, and this is one that took liquidity. And not only did it take liquidity, but it also caused this impulsive move out. Therefore, taking a look at what market structure is doing, this is a very high probable area where price can reverse from. Therefore, it would be super, super advisable to take profits, move break even, and manage your trade accordingly, because as we can see straight after that, what happens? Price then shoots straight back up. So it reacted beautifully off of this bullish order block, reacted and just went crazy, went straight the other way. But by now, we've already taken our profits. We've not been greedy. We've understood that we have targets. And when we get to those targets, we simply just take the profits. And then we keep it moving, because there will always be another trade on another day that we can capitalize on. But we still have to understand that these areas exist in the markets where we have to make sure that we end up taking our profits. So having said all of that though, guys, we've gone through the analysis of this beautiful trade setup that was sent into the Discord yesterday. We've understood how to identify these beautiful trading setups and how we can actually execute them by putting our stops and our take profits at key areas in the markets. Now, on that note, if you did get some value from this video or you learned something, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if there is something else that you want me to analyze, if there's another strategy that you want me to take a look at, please feel free to drop it down in the comments, because then I can go ahead and backtest these for you, and I can take a look at understanding how these other strategies work so that you don't have to. But on that note, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you in the next one.